I have had a secret for a long time, actually, that I have been working on behind the scenes, driving, planning, blowing up, and I haven't told you guys about it. And it is right behind me, already pulled apart. And yes, in this video, I will be showing you guys footage of the last couple months of me working on it and ripping everything out. This radiator hose came loose. Hopefully that'll fix it and we'll be able to drive it home without it overheating again. Well, it's not making that hissing sound like it was before. This is a 1987 BMW E30, and we got this car about 2 years ago, but have not had it in our possession for the last year because it was getting repainted. So this car started out as white, which was a respray by the previous owner, and then it wasn't up to the quality that I love, so we got it repainted in Miami blue. But it is actually sprayed in the exact same flake as the Camaro, with literally the same container as the House of Color Ice Pearl flake from the Camaro. So the Camaro and the E30 match. And then also Miami blue is a Porsche color, which is twinning with my Civic, which is also a Porsche color, the ruby star color. So I have Porsche colors and the flakes, so I like to just tie in all the cars as one. As it sits right now, as I'm filming this video, the engine bay is on its way to be getting shaved. And you might be asking, well, where is the motor? And it is right here. This is not the new motor, but this is the motor that I took out of the car. And also shout out to Napa Auto Parts. They hooked it up with an engine stand and the engine hoist and the transmission jack that I do not have because I've been slowly accumulating all the tools for me to literally do all this insane work in my own garage. But this is a BMW, it's an S50 motor, which apparently a lot of people love. But anyways, I wanted to take it out. The motor is practically stock, but it does have the Riot Racing reground cams. So I guess it does have upgraded cams, but the overall internals aren't anything new. Overall, this motor just has bothered me. Staring at it in the engine bay has the stock silver paint in it. And this motor is disgustingly dirty. I don't care how fast a car is. If it looks like this, to me, it's the same as having a 50 horsepower car. It means I will be less swapping it. Maybe that was the hint. But I ripped out so much out of this engine bay. I've been grinding it down. I'm about to cut out all the brackets that are in here, and I've been moving all the wiring, and it was just very chaotic before. So we are saying bye to this S50 and bye to this old transmission, and I will be having the new motor and trans on their way in the next couple weeks, and then I will just be test fitting. And I believe I'm probably gonna do some metal work in this car as well because there is a rust spot by the firewall. This is an Arizona car, so luckily there's not a lot of rust, but I did find a pretty aggressive spot that's breaking through, so I'll have to fix that. As we know, this car is super old. This is 87, and I'm born in 98, so I would have rust too if I was this old. And then I think I'm gonna be painting the engine bay the same color as my Civic. Since I've actually been trained professionally on body work, and think I'm just gonna go for the welding and sanding and painting and everything myself in my own garage because I just wanna take on a new project and show you guys what happens when we just go for it, you know, even if you don't know what you're doing. But I technically do know what I'm doing. I just pretend like I don't. This car did come with Willwoods, which, as we know, I love Willwoods. I actually took them off to get powder coated, which I might have in this video or the next. But we got them back, and I got them done in yellow, because I think the yellow and this blue color will look amazing together. Having another color involved in this car as well, which I'm keeping that secret for now. All the parts that we have ripped off the car are all here on the side of the garage. This is the front subframe. I think I'm going to be taking this front subframe apart and sanding it down and repainting it just so it'll look way better. And I might also reinforce it with some metal pieces so it could better support the heavy LS that's going in the car, because it ends up being like double the weight as the previous motor. Obviously I have to upgrade the clutch, so I'm gonna see what Center Force offers, and I believe I'll be going with the Center Force clutch with the new setup, which is going to be an LS3 and T56 Magnum. And I took off all the old heat shielding, drive shaft obviously. Exhaust is already in the backyard, ready for trash. It is on BC Racing coilovers. We might be using those unless I end up getting KW or ST suspension coilovers. We'll see about that, but I'd rather have coilovers for my Civic first. But the car is on coilovers, which is great for racing and for what it is now until the car starts running and such. The interior now is mostly gutted. We did like a rear seat delete. I want to cover that. It has a Momo steering wheel. It has all the stock gauges. The center console, all the radio and everything is all taken away, and it has like the flat panels, so you can put gauges in there. I do have the seat rails from Garage Istic, which are nice and billet, and they were holding on to the Sparco seats that I took out. The car originally did come with confetti seats, which apparently are super rare and everybody likes them, but now I don't even know what to do with them. This is them. I mean, they're really nice seats, so if anybody's interested in confetti seats, hit me up. They're just sitting here. When we got this car, it didn't have a body kit and it wasn't painted, so we did get a body kit installed on the car when it was in the body shop. It has no front glass now. I do plan on taking out the headliner and probably doing Alcantara to match the Camaro, just because I love the luxury look, and Alcantara is also fire resistant, which is great if anything happens, instead of other dangerous materials that will be inside of cars sometimes. As I'm looking through my notes here, I forgot to mention that it has a Z3 steering rack, which I will be putting obviously the front subframe and the same brakes and the same coilovers back in the car, and it does have a Z3 steering rack. You have to switch it over because it is like a smaller steering rack and it performs way better on the track. It's just a good and more responsive upgrade, and I've also never driven an E30 that's not converted to a Z3 steering rack, so I don't have much to say on that, but it handles great, and we are keeping with the Z3 steering rack, and it will be able to clear the future headers and motor, so that's nice. I'm still trying to figure out what oil pan I should go with the LS3 when we swap it, because obviously the oil pan is going to be sitting directly onto the steering rack, and it's really tough because obviously V8's larger, but it's going to be sitting on, if not like on the same plane as the steering rack, so it has to go over it and be small, so the stock oil pan's not going to work. But I believe there's a Moroso option, Siki makes an option, Holley makes some swapped oil pans, but I haven't seen a really tiny one from Holley yet. The steering linkage system, I've seen a lot of people also swap out that. Haven't decided on that as well. I just have briefly cleaned up the stock one. I think you have to swap it out. I think Siki makes a kit for it. Swap it out to a smaller steering linkage so then it clears the headers for the V8. But yeah, I have like a whole list of everything that was done to this car previously when we bought it, and we kind of spent a lot of money on this car because we were thinking, well, it's S50 swapped, it has Willwoods, everything is upgraded, and it's basically a race car. And then of course, we were talking and I was like, well, I want to organize the wires, make the engine bay look better because it's really bothering us, and we're not proud of how it looks because I'm very picky. And then I don't really know a lot about S50s, and I gave up, and I was like, you know what, let's LS swap. So now we are in this position, back with no running car. For the pedal box and the upcoming brake system, I've been talking with Willwood on what kind of options they have, because they've done brake booster delete and the ABS delete, so I think I'm doing that same thing. Willwood recommended getting dual master cylinders, so just in case your one only master cylinder fails, not all your brakes will go out, it'll just be the front or rear that goes out, so it'll save our life. And then I'm also going to be using their pedal box, because then it'll directly hook up to the master cylinder, and the brake ratio and everything will be better along with feel. Luckily, since this is a really light chassis, braking and power steering and everything will be pretty simple and really light. Over the last few months, I've been accumulating like tons of tools. Obviously, I have the engine hoist, the engine stand, and the transmission jack here. If you guys follow me on TikTok, you've probably seen that. And I got tools here. Once I started this super aggressive project, I've realized how many tools I don't actually have. So I've been spending a lot of time and money on finishing the garage and getting everything I need. If you guys have any advice or comments or ideas, I would love to hear it. I am not switching the motor choice. I am for sure doing the LS30, so don't tell me, doing S50. I'm like, no, I just took that out. We're not doing that. We're for sure LS swapping it, and then I'm going to paint the engine bay white. If you guys have been wondering where I'm at, I've been here at midnight shaving down random portions of the engine bay and just working away. I think this will be a really fun platform for the channel, and don't get mad at me. I know it's not a muscle car yet. One day I will be building a 69 Camaro, I promise you guys. It's just really expensive for the way I want to build it. So we're building this platform. But the plans are to bring the E30 and the Camaro, once they are both completed and finished, to like Good Guys and Holly LS Fest and all of these LS American events and race them against each other. So that's the whole point of it. Hopefully Sam can either drive my Camaro or this E30. We can race them and have competitions like within ourselves, within my own build, because that's what I focus on as an enthusiast. I just want to better myself and know more. I'm just trying to have fun and build my projects in my garage and be a better driver and understand more on how to properly build a car, since I think the process for me is the most fun part of being an enthusiast. I have not figured out the wiring for this car yet and what I want to do. There's so many different options. There's HB tuners, there's like OEM ECUs and OEM wiring harnesses. There's a Holley Terminator Dominator setup for the LS3 that's a plug-and-play setup, and et cetera, mixed with the emission laws and all that. But I would love advice, and I just wanted to come on here and show you guys what I've been working on. And this car has gone through a very long process of getting worked on, repainted, shaved down, everything's out of it. But I'm excited to add another project on the channel, and you guys will see me be working away, hopefully in the full 5-6 months on this project. But enjoy watching me work on the newest project car, and yeah. I am working on the E30 today. We have a Willwood brake conversion, which these are actually 6 pistons on this tiny car. However, they are powder coated black directly from Willwood, where they laser etch in the Willwood N6 piston like emblem onto the brake caliper. I want the brake calipers to stand out a lot more. Probably just take them to a local powder coating shop and get them powder coated yellow. This is what we are working with. So you can see this is what they look like originally. So they don't really pop. I am definitely a fan of more of a neon on neon color. I think brake calipers just make a difference if it's like a fun poppy color compared to the paint color. So to take off these Willwoods, it's very, very simple. It's exactly like the Willwood brakes on my Camaro. Obviously the bracket is just slightly different. However, this is a Willwood brake conversion. Willwood directly doesn't make an E30 kit. It's kind of just discovering different parts of the car and just figuring it out as we go. This car makes like a really loud squeaky noise when you take it around corners and drive it, and the brakes are really loud. So That can come from a million different issues. I like cars to be as quiet as possible and loud where you want it to be loud, not loud where you think, oh, it's built, it's loud. No, we're going to make it quiet. Not the exhaust, though. We're going to make it sound good. It's going to act like a brand new car, just with, we want the exhaust to be the loudest, you know?
Brakes need to be loud.
Brakes do not need to be loud if they're done properly. The one thing I don't like about Willwood brakes is that you cannot remove the brake pads out of the calipers, but they do this for a number of reasons, and the pads definitely will not move. In racing situations, God forbid your pin breaks, your brake pad won't shoot out like on other cars, like on Camaro stock brake setups. So the caliper is actually built around the pads here. Change pads, you do have to remove the entire caliper. Let's get these brakes taken off. Hell yeah. Got it loose. Okay, that's calipers off and it's super dirty. These have like these little clips in here. You can see there's like a little ring. You have to get like long pliers and pinch and pull them out. And sometimes they will fly into your eyes, so be careful.
You didn't tell me to be careful.
I'm a pro and I just got it on the first try. This is what they look like. Yeah, when I was doing these like were flying all over the shop when I did them for the first time. And the other one. If it focuses, right there. And now these pins just slide out because those guys are just holding it in place. And then there's one pin. The other pin. And that drops down the brake pads. These brake pads have a lot of life on them, so that's good. We will just be using probably the gum out brake cleaner, all-purpose cleaner, and just getting all the gunk off from in the inside because I don't want to give it to the powder coater if they're absolutely trashed. What you doing over there, Sam? Cleaning all the suspension?
Cleaning all the suspension, brake ducting, all that fun stuff.
This is a Kayla Rundle trick. While you're working on all your suspension, got a detail.
It's true. Oh, my hands are dirty.
Oh, you need another bottle, huh? Topo Chico.
Put it on a Topo Chico.
It's okay.
You wanted to take on the job of holding it.
Well, behind you. Looks like that. My guess as an uneducated individual is that this bolt has to come out to release tension from here.
Yank that out.
Yeah, but see how this is stuck with that piece?
Yeah.
If this came out, this would come up.
You're right.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Ha, I could work for Willwood. Ha ha. What a great guess. Nice job. She's so strong.
Thank you. Hold up. Nice. It didn't get us in the eyes.
Magic. God, how am I going to put this thing back together? If you had to make me put this back together, I'd have to watch this video.
It's not that hard.
It is that hard. You're just too smart.
Oh my goodness, you're funny. God, this road chef's so light. Yep, just be easy on me.
Have you bumped it? Yeah. I'll hold my side and you can
Okay, going up.
Yep, it's out. It's clear. It's just fun like that. I like to put the shifter out. Keep going.
Look at that baby clutch.
It's like, ew, that's it?
If I can do it, you guys can do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to see the process and progress and hopefully the amazing results that I am expecting. Coming soon on this project, let me know if you guys are BMW fan, boys or girls, or if you're not at all, I'd love to hear your comments. And welcome home, the new project. Hope you all have an amazing day or night, whatever time it is, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.